10 harsh truths that will change your life. The truth most people avoid. Have you ever noticed that life's deepest lessons often arrive wrapped in pain? The moments that break us, the truths that shake us to our core. Ironically, they are the very things that have the power to set us free. They act as a forge, burning away illusions and refining us into stronger, wiser individuals. But here's the problem. Most people run from these truths. They cover their eyes with comforting illusions, hoping to soften reality. Why? Because facing the harshness of life is difficult. It requires courage. It demands self-awareness. And most importantly, it forces us to let go of the false sense of control we cling to so tightly. It's easier to pretend that things will work out on their own than to confront what makes us uncomfortable. It's more comfortable to blame circumstances, luck, or other people instead of taking full responsibility for our own lives. But let me ask you, is that really how you want to live? Wandering through life, refusing to see things as they truly are, waiting for some external force to guide your path instead of claiming ownership of your own destiny? Because here's the truth. Real happiness doesn't come from avoiding discomfort. It doesn't come from running from pain. It comes from understanding life deeply, accepting what you cannot change, and mastering what you can. It comes from shifting your mindset from victim to creator, from reactive to proactive. It is found not in external validation, but in internal resilience. The Stoics knew this well. They didn't seek an easy life, free of hardship. Instead, they embraced life as it was, imperfect, unpredictable, and often unforgiving. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is what we must understand. Strength does not come from wishing the world were different. It comes from accepting it as it is and learning how to navigate it with wisdom. The strongest people you know? The ones who seem unshakable? They aren't immune to pain. They just learn to use it. So today, we're going to explore 10 harsh but life-changing truths that, once accepted, will transform the way you see the world. These aren't feel-good slogans. They're the principles that have guided the strongest minds in history. The truths that will challenge you, but also free you. Because while the world tells you to chase comfort, we know that comfort rarely leads to greatness. Stay until the end, because the last truth will change the way you approach life forever. Let's begin. 1. Not everyone will accept you. Here's a truth that may be hard to swallow. Not everyone will accept you, and that's perfectly fine. We all crave acceptance. It's human nature to want to be liked, to fit in, to avoid rejection. From childhood, we are conditioned to seek approval, from parents, teachers, peers, and later, from society as a whole. But here's a reality check. No matter how kind, talented, or accommodating you are, there will always be people who disapprove of you. And the sooner you stop seeking universal approval, the freer you become. The illusion of universal approval. Think about how much energy is wasted in trying to fit into spaces where you were never meant to belong. You adjust your words, soften your edges, suppress your opinions, all in hopes of being accepted. But even when you do everything right, there will still be someone who finds a reason to criticize you. Maybe they misunderstand you. Maybe they're intimidated by you. Maybe they project their own insecurities onto you. Or maybe they simply don't like you for reasons that have nothing to do with you. Whatever the case, the problem is not yours to fix. You cannot control how others perceive you. You can only control how you respond. The cost of seeking approval. Be honest. How many times have you held back your true thoughts just to avoid conflict? How often have you forced a smile, played along, or hidden parts of yourself just to fit in? We've all done it, but at what cost? Every time you suppress your voice, you reinforce the idea that others' opinions matter more than your own truth. Every time you conform to avoid judgment, you betray your authentic self. Every time you seek validation from the wrong people, you give away your power. And the harshest truth? Even if you win their approval, it won't bring you the fulfillment you seek. The wisdom of the Stoics. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." You do not need external validation to live a meaningful life. The only approval that truly matters is your own. What you can do instead, stop seeking approval from people who will never give it. Some people are committed to misunderstanding you, no matter what you do. Let them go. Align your life with your values, not others' expectations. Define what truly matters to you, and let that be your compass. Remember, when you stop trying to be liked by everyone, you attract the right people. Authenticity repels the wrong crowd but magnetizes the right one. So, the next time you feel pressured to conform, remind yourself, I won't sacrifice who I am just to be accepted. My worth is not dependent on the approval of others. The people meant for me will value me for who I truly am. The moment you accept that not everyone will like you is the moment you step into true freedom. Let go of the illusion and live boldly as your authentic self. 2. You're not as important as you think. Brace yourself. This one might sting a little, but it's a truth that, once accepted, will liberate you. You are not as important as you think. At first, this may sound harsh, even offensive, but let's break it down. We all fall into the trap of believing that the world is watching our every move, that people around us are constantly analyzing what we say, how we act, and whether we measure up. We replay awkward moments in our minds, obsess over minor mistakes, and convince ourselves that everyone else is doing the same. But here's the truth. That only happens in your head. The spotlight effect. Why you think people notice more than they actually do in reality. Most people are too consumed with their own lives to focus on you. Think about it. How many times have you obsessed over a small mistake, convinced that it defined you in the eyes of others? Maybe you tripped while walking, misspoke during a conversation, or spilled your drink in public. You spent hours replaying it in your mind, feeling embarrassed. Now, flip the scenario. If someone else had made the same mistake, would you still be thinking about it days later? Would you even remember it at all? Chances are you wouldn't. This psychological illusion is called the spotlight effect, a term coined by researchers at Cornell University. It describes our tendency to overestimate how much others notice us. But in reality, most people are thinking about themselves, their own worries, their own insecurities, not you. We walk into a room assuming all eyes are on us, when in truth, everyone else is too busy focusing on their own perceived flaws to even notice ours. Why this realization is a superpower at first. This truth might seem unsettling, but once you accept it, it becomes one of the most freeing realizations in life. You can stop carrying the unnecessary weight of trying to be perfect for everyone. You don't have to prove yourself to people who aren't even paying attention. The moment you stop living for an audience that isn't watching, you'll feel truly free. This means you can take risks, speak your mind, and make bold decisions without the paralyzing fear of judgment. Ever hesitated to dance at a party because you thought people were watching? Ever stopped yourself from posting something online because you worried what others might think? Ever held back in a conversation because you feared sounding foolish? All of these hesitations stem from the false belief that other people care more about our actions than they actually do. But when you realize that most people are too absorbed in their own worlds to be fixated on yours, something shifts. You stop letting fear hold you back. You stop playing small just to avoid imaginary criticism. You start living on your terms, not theirs, letting go of the need for external validation. If you truly want to free yourself, practice this simple mindset shift next time you catch yourself worrying about what others think. Pause and ask, what's the most likely thing they're actually thinking about right now? Spoiler alert, it's probably not you. They're thinking about their deadlines, their own insecurities, their next meal, their weekend plans, anything but that small thing you're stressing over. And even if someone does notice a mistake you made, their memory is fleeting. They will forget about it far sooner than you will. The freedom of realizing you're not the center of the universe. This is not to say you don't matter. You do. Your choices, your actions, your life, it all has significance. But in the grand scheme of things, the pressure you put on yourself to be perfect, to be admired, to be flawless, it's all unnecessary. Nobody is watching as closely as you think. So go ahead, take the risk, speak your mind, live boldly. Because the only thing worse than making a mistake in front of others is living a small life out of fear that people are watching when they really aren't. 3. Life won't always be fair. Have you ever felt like life owes you something? That if you work hard, treat people well, and give it your all, things should naturally go your way? It's a comforting belief, one that we're often taught growing up. We hear phrases like, good things happen to good people, or hard work always pays off. But then reality hits. You put in long hours at work, but the promotion goes to someone less qualified. You act with honesty and integrity, yet you see dishonest people climbing the ladder of success. You give your heart to someone, only to be left heartbroken and betrayed. It's frustrating, it feels unjust, and in those moments it's easy to ask, why me? But here's a harsh truth. You are not entitled to fairness. The world doesn't operate on a simple equation of effort equals reward. Hard work increases your chances of success, but it doesn't guarantee it. Good intentions make you a better person, but they don't shield you from betrayal. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." What does this mean? It means that fairness is not a rule of the universe, it's an expectation we create in our minds. And when reality doesn't match that expectation, we suffer. Why life feels unfair and what to do about it. We often expect life to be structured like a school system, where if you study hard, you get good grades. If you follow the rules, you are rewarded. If you put in the effort, you see results. But life isn't a classroom. It's unpredictable, messy, and often chaotic. The world isn't structured to ensure that those who deserve success will always get it. This realization can feel discouraging until you shift your perspective. Instead of expecting life to be fair, accept it as it is, a complex system filled with randomness, luck, and circumstances beyond our control. Expecting fairness leads to disappointment. Adapting to reality leads to strength. You can complain about life's unfairness, or you can learn to navigate it. Instead of waiting for justice, create your own opportunities. How to overcome life's unfairness. 1. Focus on what you can control. When life feels unfair, our instinct is to focus on what we can't change, how others treated us, what we lost, or why things didn't work out. But the Stoics remind us that suffering comes not from events themselves, but from our perception of them. Epictetus said, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within your control, and some things are not." So ask yourself, can you control that your coworker got promoted over you? No. Can you improve your skills, network, or seek better opportunities? Yes. Can you control that someone betrayed your trust? No. Can you set stronger boundaries, learn from the experience, and choose better relationships? Yes. When you stop wasting energy on what you wish would happen and start taking action on what you can do, you regain power over your life. 2. Let go of victim mentality. Many people waste years blaming external circumstances for their struggles. They tell themselves, "I can't succeed because life is unfair. The system is against me, so why even try? I'll never get what I deserve, so I might as well give up." This mindset keeps you trapped. It makes you passive instead of proactive. Successful people don't waste time complaining about fairness. They acknowledge life's difficulties and work around them. Think of it like an unexpected storm. Some people stand in the rain, complaining that the weather ruined their plans. Others adapt. They find shelter, grab an umbrella, or even learn to dance in the rain. Which one will you be? 3. Make unfairness work for you. What if the very things that feel unfair today could make you stronger? History is filled with people who faced extreme injustice, but used it as fuel for their greatest achievements. Oprah Winfrey was born into poverty and faced numerous setbacks, but she didn't let it define her. She used her struggles to build resilience and create an empire. Nelson Mandela was imprisoned for 27 years, yet instead of letting injustice make him bitter, he turned it into wisdom that helped him lead a nation. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became one of the most successful book series in history. These people didn't let unfairness break them. They used it as a stepping stone to something greater. 4. Redefine success on your own terms. Sometimes what we see as unfair is simply life redirecting us towards something better. That job you didn't get? Maybe it freed you to pursue something more meaningful. That relationship that ended? Maybe it saved you from a lifetime of unhappiness. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." What if life's unfairness wasn't here to stop you, but to make you stronger, sharper, and wiser? Life owes you nothing, but you owe yourself everything. Life won't always be fair. People will betray you. Opportunities will be stolen. Hard work won't always lead to success. But you have a choice. Waste energy complaining about life's unfairness. Accept reality, adapt, and create your own path forward. Every setback holds two options. You can let it define you as a victim. You can use it as fuel to rise even higher. The choice is yours. So ask yourself, how can I turn today's unfairness into tomorrow's opportunity? Final thoughts. The truth that sets you free. If you've made it this far, I know something about you. You are not someone who runs from hard truths. You are not someone who avoids discomfort just because it's easier. You are someone who seeks wisdom, even when it challenges you. That alone puts you ahead of most people. Because here's something most won't admit. Growth is painful. Truth, when fully accepted, can shake the foundation of everything you thought you knew. Most people aren't willing to go that deep. They stay on the surface, hoping that if they ignore reality long enough, things will magically fall into place. But you're different. You understand that avoiding reality doesn't make it disappear. It only delays the inevitable. And that's why you're here. You're ready to embrace the truth even when it's uncomfortable. So let's recap. Life won't always be fair, but you can always control how you respond. Not everyone will like you, and that's okay. Live by your values, not their approval. You are not the center of the universe, and once you embrace that, you gain true freedom. These truths aren't easy to accept, but they are necessary. Because the moment you stop resisting reality and start embracing it, you take one step closer to true, lasting happiness. Life is not about avoiding pain, failure, or change. It's about learning to navigate them. It's about turning obstacles into lessons. It's about finding strength in the struggle. Why this matters more than ever: we live in a time where most people avoid truth. They distract themselves with entertainment, drown out their inner voice with noise, and chase superficial happiness, only to wake up years later, wondering why they still feel lost. But here's the thing: truth doesn't care if you ignore it. It will still be there, waiting. The sooner you face it, the sooner you free yourself from the chains of false expectations, unrealistic hopes, and self-imposed suffering. So ask yourself, are you willing to confront these truths head on? Are you ready to stop living in denial and start taking control of your life? If your answer is yes, then congratulations, you are already on the path that few dare to walk. Your next step: take action. Knowledge alone is not enough. You can consume all the wisdom in the world, but if you don't apply it, nothing will change. Comment below, which of these truths hit you the hardest? Let's have a conversation. When you put it into words, you make it real. Hit the like button, not just to support the channel, but to remind yourself that you are committed to this journey. Subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. Every video will challenge you, push you, and help you grow. Watch the next video, because this journey doesn't stop here. The next lesson will shift your mindset in ways you never expected. And finally, remember this: the truth sets you free, but only if you're willing to face it. Most won't, but you will. Stay strong, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next one.